What's up, fellow lords of gaming? We are back, and today I'm going to do a little something different and see how you guys receive it. Mostly because I want to, but I want to see how you guys receive it. So with Doctor Strange, I can do a deep dive for you guys because the ins and outs of the character, they're well known to me because I'm playing that character mostly every day. Unfortunately, we run into a bit of a problem with trying to do deep dives on other characters because it becomes a little hard because of the investment model that the game currently has in terms of effort and currency to level up a character fully. So I think what we're going to do is impression videos because I do still play those characters. I just don't play them as much to understand not necessarily the mechanics of how the characters work, but like the ins and outs of like every little nit and crack and cranny. So I don't want to give you guys false impression. Today I want to start off with my second favorite character in the game, the one I am most leaning towards in terms of probably developing, and that's Captain America. All right, so let's jump into him real quick and we're going to talk about this character. So first of all, there were questions in the comment section about Captain America's Omega cards, and I want to draw your attention to this because it's the Omega card discussion is still pretty much the same, but it does come into regard to understanding some of Captain America's mechanics in the first place. Cap has some seriously bonkers ass costumes too that I really like, but like I said, the investment in this game is just a little too hard for me to be like to justify. Like, I like this Dark Domain costume's pretty dope. It's too hard for me to justify investing in these characters where you're literally talking about spending hundreds if not thousands of dollars in order to invest in another character. Now I can do these guys free to play over time. Like, for instance, you can see I still haven't done my extreme level raids with Cap yet. I'm gonna do those probably today actually. But okay, anyways, let me jump into this now. So Cap, how does Cap work? Cap has some really interesting skill sets, and he's one of the only characters in the game really with a native HP recovery scheme inside their heal. So it kind of makes him really interesting to play. I'll show you how I basically have mine set up inside here. So on his skills that I had, I was using Unbreakable Will. This was just an amazing skill. I like the way it looked. On top of that, it was dealing 30% additional damage and 30% additional guard damage. Captain America centers around basically his defense and his guard damage. Those are the things that are going to mostly jump out at you. He has an interesting skill called Vibranium Release where he builds up stacks, and then when you release those stacks, they help out his skills. So they're going to be big ones. But I would say Unbreakable Will, Spearhead is really good. It allows you to gap close and dodge in and out of combat. Like if you're down on your dodges, this will be something that's good for you to use as well. Sentinel of Liberty is one of those like bread and butter skills that he has inside there. It's his like highest guard break skill, and it's his highest amount of damage inside there as well. Captain America's Sentinel of Liberty skill, or his Captain's Patience skill, you're playing with other players, you want this skill. That barrier alone, I love when I'm playing in areas and I've got other players on the team that I see Cap. Like I said, when I see Cap on a team and I'm inside a raid, I am truly ecstatic. I'm like happy as hell because I know they're going to be casting Captain's Leadership and Captain's Patience, and I know they're going to be doing high guard break damage, and it's just really good. Reporting for duty, his shield ricochet, pretty decent skill inside there, absorbs 25% of the vibration gauge. All right, so those are the skills basically that you're looking at using for Cap. In my opinion, those are probably his best skills. I think Half Sin Gaming, he also has a build set for these skills, and he did a damage lab for these skills, and I was pretty happy when I looked at his video and I noticed that a lot of the skills that I had chosen were similar to the skills that he had, because it lets me know that I'm on the right path at the very least. And I think he was using a skill build from one of like the best players in the game, so it definitely made me happy to see that. Now let's talk about his potential. So inside his potential, there's gonna be a couple of things that you want to invest in here. The first tree, like I said, for every character, you're pretty much wanting to go across those skill trainings. The second one is going to come down to HP recovery, and his guard damage. So the HP recovery tree is something that I invested in quite a bit because I'm trying to invest in a defense HP recovery build for Cap. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's the best because the values that you're getting are somewhat negligible, but that's where I'm going with it, where like I feel like over time, as the character expands and develops a little bit more, that they're gonna probably rely mostly on these three stats for Captain America. His defense is obviously going to be highly important since you're converting defense to attack, and I'll show you what I mean by that in specializations. And then as well as his guard damage, his ability to do guard damage, and then his ability to recover HP inside there. So let's get into that so that way you can understand why I specifically said that. Captain America has a couple of specializations in here that are, to me, bonkers, like legitimately bonkers in terms of like his active traits. This Dominator one is decent enough to get hand-to-hand combat class skills if you're using it, but otherwise not. One of the skills that's inside here though that is an absolute must invest regardless of how you build in Captain America is going to be Vanguard. You're going to want to invest in this skill. Is basically converting his defense, a portion, I think it goes up to like 20% or something like that, of his defense into attack. So you can see why I'm saying like a defensive build on Cap is going to help, because the higher his defense is, it's going to convert that into attack. It's going to help get his power levels up there. That's one of the reasons why I went with that, right? Regroup is definitely one of those abilities that it's definitely on my mind in terms of active traits inside there. The increased guard gauge recovery with willpower, okay, that's decent enough. Passion is going to be one of those skills that you're definitely going to want to that you're definitely going to want to put on there as well. It's like Vanguard and Passion are pretty much going to be one of those skill sets that should be in every Captain America build. You're basically absorbing damage dealt to an enemy as HP, so it's automatic recovery. Like when I was playing my Captain America, even without these builds, without these active traits equipped, yeah, I was like literally just steamrolling. I don't even remember, and he was my second character that I played. I don't remember using a lot of HP pots all the way up and like all the way even into Midgardia and Sakaar. I really wasn't, so I don't know. Then we had Unyielding Will. It looks good, right? Because it says it increases HP recovery rate by, you know, such percentage when HP is 30% or below. But here goes the problem with Unyielding Will, is that it's very situational. I never like situational skills, regardless of whatever game I'm playing. If there's situational dependency on a skill being used, then I don't want to use it unless I can trigger that situational dependency. So inside here, where the HP recovery rate is being recovered, but it's below HP 30% or below, I don't want to have my HP that low. So I'm not gonna, you know, like I have my pot set to auto activate at 70% for all my characters. So this is not a good skill in my opinion. Then we have increases. This is the release skill. This is Sharp Shield is actually a pretty decent skill. Increases the guard damage by you know, a percentage for 10 seconds when you use the vibrating release. But there are other skills that I think are better. This is going to be an interesting skill. Decreases the duration of status effects received. Mostly because I think situation assessment is going to be one of those things if you're playing PvP. Like for instance, you run to Spider-Man or a Star-Lord and you're getting hit with webs or the freeze gun and you're stuck inside those status effects. Yeah, but I don't think that that's necessarily one that's going to be used a lot. Now here goes a skill that I think is really good as long as it works in the way that I think it's working. And it's the battle preparation. So you got Passion, Vanguard, and now you're gonna have battle preparation as skills. It basically increases the defense by 1% for 7 seconds when using a cure. So there's been some, you know, Riminax and, you know, Halfsin might have done some more testing and says, but I believe that this is when using a cure. And so when using a cure is when you're using an HP pot. I don't necessarily use HP pots a lot when I'm playing with Cap because of his recovery rate, but you do notice you will use those, especially when you're inside. So this will be great in order to stack your attack effects, because if you increase your defense and then you get those attack rates that are boosted up right after you use a potion, so you rolling from a potion right into like a vibranium release or attack, and that's going to increase your attack. So it's a really good skill. It's definitely one of those skills in my top 5 that I have inside here for, you know, equipping to Cap. Shield, charisma. Yeah, you're probably most likely going to be wanting to look at charisma as one of those skills that you equip, because it's similar. Most characters have this inside there where they're decreasing damage received from nearby targets. The only problem with this for Cap is that it doesn't decrease damage for targets at range. And I feel like they should add something in there for targets at range, because Cap is generally good at blocking with his shield from range because of characters like that. So I would say that. And then we have combat bravery, decent enough skill. But like I said, the top skills that you're gonna be, this is, don't go into combat spot weaknesses. Increases damage dealt to bleeding targets. Whatever. Don't even think about it. Don't even use it. So like I said, passion, vanguard, charisma, and battle preparation are probably 4 of the top skills inside his specialization tree that you want to look at. You get equipped 4, my opinion, equip those 4. I really do believe that he's going to be the next character I level, unless I hear a word that Thor is getting released sometime soon, Nova's getting released, Black Bow's coming to the game. I'm probably once my Doctor Strange is pretty built up right now, so he's probably going to be the next character that I go into building up inside there. If I'm being honest with you, I really like Cap a lot. The only problem is that he's not very good at PvP. So yeah, but anyways, so that's the skill, that's the potential, that's the specialization. Let's talk about the Omega cards. Okay, so inside the Omega cards, there's going to be a couple of sets that I think that you should go with regardless. And this is where I was telling you guys that each character probably has like a little bit of something. So as I know that there's some questions about free to play. If you're free to play, then you're going to want to look for sets that have defense and HP for Cap, in my opinion. That's going to raise his attack pool anyways, because you know, defense, attack, and HP for Cap are going to be king for him, because he's already getting his attack boost. Anything with defense on it is going to give him a defensive increase, and the HP pool is going to help with the amount of pool that he's going to be recovering into anyways. You want to make sure that he's staying alive and that he's a tank. So in that regard, Hydra Empire with the attack and defense 4 set, and then maybe going into something else that has like HP and attack on the Xanderf 2 set, I think is really good. I really love this full complete set if you can get the Captain American shield set, because it includes attack, defense, and HP, so it's an overall balanced set for him in regards to that. Xanderf, stick away from that. I don't think that's a good set at all. Midgardia, and for him, is going to be one of those difficult things. I would say stay away from him. I know I suggested this as a free-to-play option that's going to boost up your characters overall, but I don't believe that this is necessarily a great option for Cap, because I don't feel like the mechanics on him works that well, where he's doing a lot of impactful damage in that way. Just my opinion. Some other people could disagree with me. Sakaar is going to be another one of those sets that you're really trying to invest in, because you need 2 cards from there, Iron Man and Star-Lord. It's going to be hard. Any of those double card sets is going to really be hard to tell people to invest in those sets, because you're basically telling a player that they need to be paid to play, or paid or whalish in order to do that. Stick away from the dodge rate, status effect, resistance if you're playing as Captain America. This is actually a pretty decent set if you can get the Storm card, the super villain damage, defense, pairs, defense, because I think the place where Cap is going to shine the most is going to be in places like Raid, because people are going to be really, like I said, I'm happy as a Doctor Strange player to have, you know, to see people's Cap America join a team. Like, I cannot express how much when I play Blitz or when I play Raid that I'm ecstatic to see a Captain America join a team. There's not that many Captain America players right now, like I said, mostly because the way the game mechanics are set up currently, they don't afford you the ability to just invest in other characters as heavily, because you just it sucks. They need to bring down the cost of some of these costumes and the acquisition of them, because I think they would make more money if people were able to invest in multitudes of characters. The Dark Zone set is a pretty decent set inside the game. I wouldn't suggest investing in it. Stay away from this one, because I don't think that Cap is a good character to be using inside PvP. There's going to probably be a bunch of whales who disagree with me, but you know, as free-to-play players, you're not really going to be able to jump into PvP with Cap America and do so great. I do love this set. This new set, I love, absolutely love for Captain America. It gives you HP, defense, and supervillain damage decrease, which means that you can take Cap now into Blitz, and you can take him into Raid, and the damage is, you can take him to Dark Zone, and you can play with him, and you're getting that reduction on damage coming into you, and you're able to do your stuff. It's just gonna make you an overall tanky player. So in real, and truthfully, guys, I don't know why, but I almost felt like when I saw this set inside the game, it was literally like, this is for Cap. Use this set for Cap, because like you can look at the stats all across: guard damage decrease, HP values, even this accuracy rate card, guys. I feel like players are going to clamor to get this card set 100% because we haven't had any native way to get accuracy rate inside here. And a 19, basically a 20% accuracy rate, you only need about 50% accuracy rate to match somebody who has a 75% max dodge rate inside this game. And so this card essentially is getting you halfway there. I feel like this is going to be the one card that's not a special card that you're going to probably start seeing pop up on people's Omega card set tree, because if I could get good bonus stats on this and get a, well, the exclusive stat is exclusive stat what it is, but if I can get good bonus stats on this card, 100% this would probably take place of some of the other special cards inside there, because like I told you guys, as whales, they're going to be able to equip mostly special cards inside the game. So this card right here alone, the accuracy rate increase, yeah, that's it. We're getting defense from this rare card over here, right? So we're just boosting attack. That's a really cool thing about Cap, right? And you see this defense over here. So that's a really fucking cool thing about Cap that is going to probably get ignored by and large by people, right? Is that this new set with the defense, because I'm natively increasing my defense with this set, I'm natively increasing my attacks values with Cap. So like, in my opinion, the single best set that you could probably use with Cap in this game right now is going to be Dark Domain #2, mostly because, like I said, this is going to put him in places, in spots where he shines, where I think that is going to be Blitz, I think that is going to be the raids, and I think that is going to be places like Dark Zone, especially with the PvE Dark Zone areas, so he can battle bosses and stuff like that, because I think this set is going to make him an absolute tank. So if you happen to get the Doctor Strange 2018 card from special, get ahead and roll with that. If you don't, then you are looking at a free-to-play player. Go with something inside here that increases your attack, defense, and HP, and some amalgamation of the two. Like, I think the new Stark City set is definitely a good set for him, and mixing that with something like Hydra Empire, where we have the attack and defense on that set, is a good set as well. The HP and attack set of Xandurf too, so I would go with some mix of these. Leave out the Midgardia set inside there, and these other sets aren't there, so I would reasonably go with some amalgamation between these three card sets inside here. And I think your primary one is going to be Kingpin and Hydra Empire compared to the two. I think that, you know, HP is kind of important, but I would probably reasonably go defense HP and then go with this set for attack for Captain America. That to me is going to be the best free-to-play option that you have if you cannot get this Doctor Strange Dark Domain or the Dark Domain #2, because I think this set is without a doubt the best set for Captain America currently in the game. Like I said, there's so much value inside this set for Captain America. Like, yeah, man, get that set if you can. If you can't, you know, fine, no problem. Like, if they release something next week that says, hey, you know what, we can change cards over for other characters, I can almost guarantee you that I will hunt for this set for Captain America, and I will start doing a deep dive videos on him. So that's about it for Captain America. I think he's a cool character, guys. I think for like any beginning players in the game, I think that Cap is representative of one of those characters that's kind of like streamlines the play, especially inside PvE for you, in such a way that's really good. Oh, I did forget costumes, guys. This one's a little bit hard for me, just because, like I said, trying to really see the versatility of what costumes are inside the game for him, to say, hey, you should be using this costume or you shouldn't be using that costume. It is a little bit hard, although I will say out of the regional sets, the Midgardia set to me is probably going to be the best costume that he has. It gives you that defense, that HP, and then it gives you the +6 to the vibranium release. I found myself relying on that vibranium release quite a bit, so I think that set to me is really good. I didn't really find his ultimate attack skill that great, so I wouldn't say using that one. New Stark City, the assistance class skill, yeah, but like, do I really, like, this is literally putting you in a support class, and I really don't necessarily think that that's where it's at. Hand-to-hand combat class, definitely not bad in terms of investing in there, so it would definitely probably be Midgardia Sakaar for me, the most out of there. Any one of the other sets that you want to do, remember, like, if you look at my skills that I basically said you should be using, you want to complement those skills. Like this is the vibranium release skill, shield absorption skill, vibranium release skill. This is the assist skill right here, and then shield absorption. So you're going to want to choose any of the free to play options that are going to go specifically to those. And if you look at the vibranium release one in terms of skills, I felt like those were the ones that were just like, that unbreakable will gets used quite a bit in terms for damage. The vibranium release, Sensual of Liberty, like I said, it's one of those things that's really pops up that, you know, it's gonna be the, to be honest with you, that one's almost better than this fucking super, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But then you have his captain leadership. Like if you really want to just be in a support class role, captain's leadership's not a bad thing at all. So I would look at those uniforms. Like I said, I think the Midgardia set is probably the best one overall for him though, inside of there, because it contributes to that vibranium release and is going to help you be able to play by yourself and, you know, increase that damage pool for yourself. So yeah, I definitely have my characters listed for anybody on the channel that with other questions and stuff like that. I definitely have the characters listed in order of my favorites for the game and the way I leveled them as well, realistically. So Doctor Strange, Cap, Spider-Man, Storm, Iron Man. Iron Man should really be at the bottom because I like the character in terms of the game, but I don't like the character. So me playing him was just to level him up. I'm still leveling up Star-Lord for you guys in the videos. Just been a lot of content lately, so I've got to get them. And you guys know that I'm gonna have to get these guys to 110 as well. As soon as I finish getting Doctor Strange to 110, then I'll probably jump on over to Captain America and start working on that. But there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, guys, peace.